I was in the room, and it felt like the room was not good. Like things did not go well.
The way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled.
What is her evidence of that phrase?
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, press. Let's go.
Fox News immediately responded to the historic Trump-Putin summit with some shade throwing down, coming out of Jacqui Heinrich saying, I was in the room, and it felt like the room was not good. Like things did not go well. And there's a lot of that last night. But it's very curious because when you start looking at who Jacqui Heinrich is engaged to, our friend Alex Brusowitz was able to flag it for us, saying it's this dude. His name is Brian Fitzpatrick. And he's got a lot of love for Ukraine, and they just got engaged. And so that's pretty weird. And then we see the truth of the matter is that behind the scenes, Putin and Trump were just kind of yucking it up after the event was over, okay? And they look like they're having a great time. So we'll come back to that clip, but here's the context of this, because Fox News reporter Jacqui Heinrich came out right after it was over and said this was not good.
Happened back there. It was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his photo next to the president and then left. Of course, that is only the piece of the picture that we have right now, and certainly President Trump, who is the host and who is the president, would not want to, I think, enable something that would make him look weak.
So a steamroll is getting a photo with somebody. So should you not have photos with anybody? Should you not meet with world leaders lest somebody take a photo of you? Is that what steamrolling means? What does that mean? What is her evidence of that phrase?
Are eagerly awaiting to hear the background on that. And I will also...
Yeah, what is the background? So why are you reporting that it was a steamroll?
Note that we didn't see any sort of scowls on the faces of the likes of Steve Witkoff or Secretary Rubio or any of the other members of the U.S. delegation. And I think had it been concerning, we might have seen something there. But just to paint a picture for you of in the room, how it felt, what we're wondering about, what we need to know to put the pieces together and fully understand what we all just witnessed.
Yeah. Okay. So Jacqui's getting a little hysterical without a basis for it at all. And our friend Alex Brusowitz said, hey, friendly reminder that Jacqui's engaged to one of the biggest war hawks and neocons in Congress. His name is Brian Fitzpatrick. Not surprised she's spewing fake news. And then he dug this up. And look, this is Jacqui Heinrich's fiancé, Brian Fitzpatrick, one of the first Congress members to visit Ukraine. And so I did a deep research report on this fella and this relationship. And let's make sure it's published over at watcherfiles.com. And it looks like now it should be up. But here is what it looks like. So this is the background on Jacqui Heinrich. And she, of course, is this woman here. And she's now married to this fella. They got engaged to Brian Fitzpatrick, engaged back July 8th, 2025. So brand new. And wow, he got an engagement ring from a longtime family jeweler. Wow, all the details. Great. Now, she, of course, works for Fox News. And if you go over to Brian Fitzpatrick's profile, you'll see this dude has a lot of love for Ukraine. So he voted yes on the Ukraine Democracy Defense Lend-Lease Act of 2022, voted yes on that. Yes on additional Ukraine supplemental appropriations for $40 billion. No on amendments to reduce or eliminate Ukraine assistance. Yes on Ukraine Security Supplemental Appropriations Act, $60 billion. And signed discharge petitions to bring Ukraine aid bills to the floor, right? Leadership on Ukraine issues says he serves as co-chair of the Congressional Ukraine Caucus and is a delegate to the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. It's like, what are these people doing being our elected leaders if they care so much about these foreign countries and NATO? He has met personally with Zelensky to discuss defense planning and support. And he even introduced in March a Russian occupied territory non-recognition resolution. Okay, so he's like one of the worst. And the dude is interesting. He's got a bunch of fundraising, 1.22 million have come in. let's see, top contributors are No Labels Problem Solvers, whatever that is, APAC, obviously, American Israel Public Affairs Committee, almost 300 grand from them, and Blackstone. Amazing. What a man of the people. So this is, obviously, they've gotten engaged, and he's estimated to be worth about $3 million. All right, so that's very curious, right? And you start to look into this, and you say, okay, there's the government media complex. Like, oh, well, no wonder Jacqui comes out and says that, because her fiancé is a war maniac who just wants to continue to fund Ukraine indefinitely. And it's like, could you just put a little disclaimer there, Jacqui, right here? Husband loves Ukraine or something, right? Future husband loves Ukraine. It's just like, give me a break. All right, Stephen Chung also responded to this. We saw his neck in the back yesterday out at the historic summit. He said, this is total fake news, right? So Jacqui, get out of here. And Jacqui has gotten lambasted by Trump many times. Trump does not like Jacqui. I put that in her report as well. You can see down here, says Heinrich has faced criticism from Trump. He called her absolutely terrible and suggested she should work for CNN instead of Fox News after she was previously questioning his policies and relationship with Putin. All right, so you just get it. They're both just part of the same team. And they just have two sides. One guy's in government, she's over here in media. That same pattern exists throughout all of them. And we're going to start keeping track of it. So we have a tab now called Government Media Complex, and we're just going to pair them up. Pair them up. Just keep a nice list of them at watcherfiles.com. All right. So we also got some behind the scenes of the media attack. And this was the best video I've seen of it, because it's quiet until the media comes into the room, and then you can hear it.
Can you make a deal today, sir? Just go up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, press. 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 Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, press.
Let's go.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
All right.
Thank you, press.
All right, so you get the rest of it. Now they're just getting thrown out, so we can't see much more there. But yeah, you could hear them just kind of, as soon as you just set the plate in front of them, man, they just went wild on it. So the question, of course, was it so tense? Was it so steamrolly? Did Putin come in here and just barrel over President Trump? Well, here's what it looked like after the fact, all right? Clash Report shared this one with us. Says, Kremlin, negotiations in Anchorage have ended, right? So maybe this is a video posted by them. I'm not sure where it came from exactly. Kremlin.ru looks like. And this is a behind the scenes from their perspective. No audio on it, so they killed the audio. But they're talking, they're chatting. And honestly, Putin, like that body language, I don't know if that's, KGB secret body language or something, but he looks like they're talking, right? Looks like they're actually on good terms. So if they like each other, like Putin just laughed right there, right? Like that was like a laugh, right? That little move. He's hilarious. Trump's hilarious. He's laughing. He's swaying. He's like enamored. You can just tell with the body language. Now, again, I don't, could be like Putin trying to like throw on the charisma charm. Oh, I love you. Like you can do that, obviously. Oh, you're so funny. Get out of here. You're hilarious. You're the most interesting person I've ever met. It could be something like that, but it also looks, they're shaking hands. He's shaking hands with his dude. It looks like they're talking about a solution on this. And so Jacqui should probably watch that video and stop talking to her husband before she does her reporting. But Lindsey Graham came out. Even Lindsey Graham's excited about this. He says, blessed are the peacemakers from Lindsey. And this is interesting. Blessed are the peacemakers. What? He just got done telling us blessed is Israel, I thought. Oh, interesting. All right. So we don't need to read that. Now, we also got some other images from the White House saying, we made some great progress today. We had an extremely productive meeting and many points were agreed to. So the White House was posting a couple images. Some of these are interesting, right? Nice image of the two getting ready to go. Putin about to do some mansplaining right there. Now, we also see Trump posted this in the aftermath. So it's on the way back to D.C. And they also posted this one, which was a curious one, right? The White House said the goal is always peace. And there's definitely a little bit of a message here, right? In the black and white. And Trump looks a little angry, getting the finger point right to the chest. I want peace, right? So the fact the White House is posting that is very interesting. I wonder what the Russians would think about that. But here, Trump showed up with Hannity, and Hannity didn't have the Heinrich maneuver coming out of his mouth like she did. Instead, we have him asking the president, how do you think it went? Did you get steamrolled, sir?
If you had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10?
So I think the meeting was a 10 in the sense that we got along great, and it's good when, two big powers get along, especially when they're nuclear powers. We're number one, they're number two in the world, and it's a big deal. That's a big deal. You never want to even mention that word, the word nuclear. But we have a tremendous nuclear. I rebuilt it when I was president, first term, and I hated to rebuild it. It was the one thing I hated to rebuild, but we had to. And we have the greatest nuclear force. We have the greatest military in the world, actually. And they have a big nuclear presence also.
All right, so that's 10 out of 10. We got an opening conversation, and a lot of people, man, apparently have never had a negotiation before. A lot of people, I guess, have never even signed a contract before or even asked for pricing on something. All the CNN anchors, they just call, they just say, what's the price? What are the terms? I'll do it. Absolutely. I don't need to see it. Actually, just charge me whatever you want, get a deal. There's no back and forth for them, right? I don't know what they don't understand this concept that you have to have, a warm up before you jump into bed together. You understand? And, well, they don't, a lot of them. So, they're just kind of multi-monogamous or whatever that is. Anyways, so we got Trump out there talking here. Here's another clip of him with Sean.
In your press conference, you talked about a lot of things that you agreed on, and maybe one big issue you don't agree on. Are you prepared to go public with that?
No, I'd rather not. I guess somebody's going to go public with it. They'll figure it out. But no, I don't want to do that. I want to see if we can get it done. It's not a done deal at all. Mm-hmm. And Ukraine has to agree. President Zelensky has to agree. But it's a terrible war where he's losing a lot, and both of them are.
And again, Trump's not cutting out Ukraine at all, much in opposition to what a lot of people are saying. And here's one final clip from this, saying the meeting is happening on Monday.
That's a lot.
I spoke very briefly to Secretary of State Rubio, and he did say to me, he goes, there's a difference when you're in the same room together than versus, talking to each other through the press.
Totally.
Even through the phone?
Even through the phone.
It's not the same thing. When you're on a telephone, it's not the same thing either. This was, we were together almost 3 hours. And it was very extensive, and we agreed on a lot of points. A lot of points we're agreed on, but there's not that much. There's, one or two pretty significant items, but I think they can be reached. Now it's really up to President Zelensky to get it done. And I would also say the European nations, they have to get involved a little bit. But it's up to President Zelensky. I think we are, and if they'd like, I'll be at that next meeting. They're going to set up a meeting now between President Zelensky and President Putin. And myself, I guess, I didn't ask you about it. Not that I want to be there, but I want to make sure it gets done. And we have a pretty good chance of getting it done.
If you had to grade it on a scale of 1 to
10, Sean, 10. Thank you for that. So good stuff there. Sean comes back and kind of papers over the Heinrich maneuver, vomiting all over the cables about steamrolled by Putin because her husband loves Ukraine.